Hey there, welcome. I'm Son of a Silver Stacker, and today's numismatic news and information for the 31st last day of October 2023. I'd like to welcome you over to moneymetals.com so we can check out those live spot prices and the availability along with the premiums for those American Silver Eagles. But before all that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs. That way we can sell some merchandise with the Son of a Silver Stacker logo with it. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool with some hoodies, maybe a sticker, maybe a coffee mug, t-shirt. You know it. That'll be pretty sweet. Now let's get to it. Over here to moneymetals.com, looks like gold's up $1.20 to $2,875. Silver's down 7 pennies to 23.43. Platinum down 50 cents to 948.20, and palladium down 7.20 to 1157.15. You're looking at in-stock American Silver Eagle, whose premium is actually now $7.79. I think it was $7.49 yesterday. So it looks like it went up about 40 cents there. Isn't that something? Now you can sell your Silver Eagles to these folks over here at $25.19 a piece. Now, because it's the last day of October 2023, we're over here to the bullion sales at the United States Mint. It says sales totals by month are updated every weekday by 5 p.m. Eastern time. And well, that means that the United States Mint has today, tomorrow, and possibly Thursday, to actually add numbers to these totals for October. So yeah, looks like sales spiked in October here, considering the geopolitical situation. We may see some more, we may not, it just depends, but I do believe that we'll also see sales for November spike as well. Now, let's go here to the Washington Post. There's a really interesting article here. It says a company settled a suit for $23,500. Okay, that's a pretty standard issue, settling a suit. But here's the kicker. It tried to pay with loose coins. Yeah, there's the coins. Actually, they had all these boxes of coins, and then they took them out of the rolls and then out of the boxes and just put them all in a pile and said, there you go. Well, yeah, right? Is that a big FU or what? Or is it? Because let's face it, a lot of us, coin roll hunting is kind of a thing. Imagine what you can find in there. Maybe some wheat, and really that $23,500. Well, heck, they could easily double their money if they find the right coin, right? So it would be a payday. Hey, you take the good with the bad. I think this company may have missed out on a really maybe lucrative opportunity. Thing is, you got to go through the coins. And how long does it take you to go through a box of let's say Lincoln cents? There's 50 rolls in there and 50 Lincoln cents in each roll. That's 2,500 pennies. Yeah, it would be interesting. Now let's go here before we read this article over to the Google machine. And I put here paying in pennies, all right? Now, this is generative AI, and that's experimental. Info quality may vary. I love that disclaimer there. That's pretty fantastic. It says, yes, pennies are legal tender in the United States. This means you can use them to pay for goods and services. You can also deposit them at the bank, and then it has a little drop-down menu there. It says, however, federal law, here we go, does not require anyone to accept coins. There it is. That's the real deal right there. Businesses have the legal right to refuse pennies. If you have now what reasonable person actually would take all those pennies and say, yeah, score, sign me up? Well, you'd have, like I said, you'd have to be a coin roll hunter to really be enthusiastic, to actually be, well, stoked about that kind of payment or know what the potential value might be of those coins, right? Now, it says here, if you have a debt, the other party must accept payment in legal tender, including coins. This includes taxes. For example, American tax protesters can pay their taxes in pennies. And it says right there, but you know what? Look at this at the bottom. This is not legal advice. You may want to consult a lawyer about this question. Wow. See, this is a really big deal question. If you got to talk to a lawyer about paying a bill in coins, yeah. So think about it. What if you did pay in coins, they didn't accept your payment? What do you do next? Yeah, that's all on you to put it back into paper. Yeah, so let's get back to the article here from the Washington Post. This is by Jonathan Edwards. It's dated October 27, 2023 at 12:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And like I said, these are the coins before they unwrapped and unrolled all of them. That's just something else. Now, it says here, attorneys for lawsuit defendant JMF Enterprises sent photos of the coins when they were packaged and a video of someone at JMF dumping them and their wrappers into a container. Oh my gosh, said Clifford Beam, whose law partner and daughter, Danielle Beam, represented the plaintiff. Yowza, that's just Incredible. A Colorado welding company agreed in July to pay $23,500 to settle a lawsuit that a subcontractor had filed against it. And JMF Enterprises did pay, just not in the way Fired Up Fabrication thought it would. Instead of writing a check or wiring the money to them, JMF delivered a box filled with thousands and thousands of loose pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. Nickels, dimes, quarters. Apparently, he weighed more than 6,500 pounds, baby. That's 3 tons of coins. That is incredible. Why am I laughing? Because it's extraordinary. You don't usually see something like this happen ever. Or do you? Well, I think you do. Fired Up refused to accept the payment and took JMF back to court, asking a judge to force the company to pay by check. On Monday, Larimer County District Court Judge Joseph Finley chided JMF, ruling that the company had acted maliciously and in bad faith, echoing the arguments of Fired Up lawyer Danielle Beam. That is incredible. So they're like, yeah, that's malicious and bad faith. So they're going to make them pay, what, in cash or check or wire, right? JMF's manner of payment is also symbolic middle finger to the plaintiff and its businesses. Is it really a middle finger? I think they're looking at it in the wrong way. You got to change their perspective. Plaintiff's counsel, and indeed to our system of justice, Beam wrote in their motion. See, they should have had a coin roll hunter doing their defending, right? John Frank, owner of JMF, declined to comment, but in court documents, the company's attorneys wrote that paying in coins was not an attempt to harass or frustrate Fired Up owners, but since they're both welding companies, a reference to their shared career field. Yeah, we weld metal, and so here's a bunch of metal coins. I don't know about that. It seems disingenuous, but there they are. Now, when you look at this photograph, aren't you like, yeah, bring those to me? Look at all those quarters. You know how many W quarters were probably in there? I mean, that's ridiculous. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 times 4. That's 28 boxes potentially of quarters. Those don't look like quarters, but still. Could you imagine 28 boxes of quarters? What you would find in there? You'd have to find some goodies that are worth more than what you are looking at here in just face value. You have to. Just the law of averages mandates that, all right? Paying with pennies and other coins has become a passive-aggressive act of protest in recent years. You know, I remember people paying with pennies back in the 70s and 80s, so yeah, I think that act of protest has been going on for over 30 years. Why does everybody have such short memory? I don't know. Maybe they're not that old. I don't know. In 2016, a man from Frisco, Texas, paid a $212 speeding ticket with a bucket full of pennies, calling traffic citation an extortion racket of the worst kind. In 2018, a woman from Deltona, Florida, paid her $493 water bill in pennies, claiming the water department overcharged her. And in 2021, the owner of an auto repair shop in Peachtree City, Georgia, paid former employees' final paycheck in the form of more than 91,000 oily pennies. That's an FU right there, making the oil on them. The Labor Department sued the owner, Miles Walker, in late 2021, and in June, he was ordered to pay that former employee and 8 others a total of nearly $40,000 by check or money order. They told him how to pay this time around, right? In late 2020, JMF subcontracted with Fired Up on a job in Trinidad, Colorado, according to Fired Up's lawsuit. Between December 2020 and March 2021, Fired Up fabricated metal handrails and stairs delivered to them to JMF, all right? Seems pretty standard, which then installed them for its client, the suit stated, even though JMF agreed to give Fired Up all the materials necessary to make the handrails and stairs. The company failed to do so in some cases, forcing Fired Up to provide them, the suit alleged. Now, after the work was done, Fired Up repeatedly asked JMF to pay it in the agreed-upon amount, which was not specified in court documents, according to the suit. Although JMF made partial payment through November 2021, the company allegedly ignored invoices that Fired Up sent. Now, here we go back in June 2022. Fired Up sued, alleging that JMF had breached their contract. The case worked its way through the justice system for more than a year, and then in late July, the two companies decided to settle. In an agreement, JMF promised to pay $23,500 by August 24th. Now, here we go. This is where the things get really interesting. On August 16th, Beam, the lawyer, Fired Up, emailed JMF's attorney with instructions for payment, including how to deliver a check and whom the company should pay. The company's lawyer never responded, according to Beam. Here we go. On August 28, a delivery driver contacted Beam, telling her that he was trying to deliver the settlement payment, a metal box that weighed more than 6,500 pounds. Could you imagine 3 tons of coins in a metal box? She wrote in her motion. The driver told Beam that he couldn't get the container up to her office because it was too heavy for the freight elevator. Man, it was, oh boy, yeah. You know, with that sticker on the elevators that says, 10-person capacity? That's about, what, 2,500 pounds, maybe 3,000 tops, but not 6,000 pounds, right? Beam called JMF's lawyer, who confirmed that the company planned to pay with loose coins. The lawyer allegedly told Beam that JMF had ordered the coins from a bank, and they had originally been neatly marked and packed in boxes. Someone at JMF then allegedly unpacked the coins and dumped them into a container along with the wrappings. Oh, man, empty paper, too. Wah, wah, that's lame. Beam's father-in-law partner, Clifford Beam, said JMF attorneys sent photos of the coins when they were packaged and a video of someone at the JMF dumping them in the wrappers in the container. Now, it says here, I don't see how or there could be possibly any other motivation than to make the process of handling those coins as difficult and as expensive as possible, Clifford Beam told the Washington Post. The judge agreed. He ordered JMF to pay the $23,500 within 2 weeks. He specified that the company must do so by check, cashier's check, or some other way, so long as it's agreeable to fire it up. Now, what's interesting about that is they don't give them any penalty for doing so. They just say, look, you got to pay in a different way. Those are pennies, quarters, nickels, and dimes. And wouldn't you be really stoked to be? I mean, you're going to find some silver in there. Where's the $50? And what's really interesting is, remember we were in a coin shortage for a while? I guess there's no coin shortage here in this particular place in Colorado. But yeah, I mean, could you imagine all the wheat cents you find, all of the W quarters you could find? What about the silver nickels from the war nickels, right? Or the silver dimes? I mean, look, they probably would have easily got more than 23,500. And the person who paid in coins could probably argue that. It's just that it would take some time to go all through those boxes. Could you imagine? Would that take you a year, a month, 6 months to go through these coins? I don't know, but that's, yeah, I think there's, no matter how bad things seem, there's always a side that's not as bad as you think it is, right? Now, let's go to those plus ones today. This is fantastic. Now, this is Sirach 37, 7 through 10, and it's about taking advice. It says caution in taking advice. Anyone could give advice, but some people do so only in their own interest. Absolutely. Now, be careful when somebody offers you advice. Find out first what is his interest in the matter is, because you can be sure that he is thinking primarily of himself. Why should he come out on top instead of you? Now here's number 9. He will assure you that things look good and then stand back to watch what happens to you. Yowza. Don't ask advice of anyone who doesn't trust you, and don't give advice to anyone who is jealous of you. There you go. That's huge, folks. That's like words to live by right there. That's caution on taking advice. Now let's head over here to 395 99.9 KOI and Coin News Radio. This is 5 times August. Ain't no rock and roll. And it's actually, I've played this before. However, I came across a live version of it, and it sounded pretty amazing. It's just one dude with the guitar, and it's epic. I hope you dig it. Now, there it is, folks. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do, like what you're and see, well, sub the channel. It's free. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs so we can start selling the merchandise on the channel with this awesome logo right here. And could you imagine that as a bumper sticker? I guess a decal on a hoodie, a sweatshirt, mug, a visor, a cap. Yeah, I knew you could. Stacker out.